Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another crypto update. Today we're going to speak about the future direction of crypto since many people seem to be insanely confused after this heavy liquidation event on the 10th of October where we had the highest liquidation ever happening. And we already gave a lot of guidelines over this event and what to do after, what I bought. I made a video about that, a top to bottom over an hour technical analysis for the whole market, not only crypto. But today we're going to focus on the direction of crypto. And we're going to start with the total market cap because when there's confusion, you need to step out, right? It's like in boxing when you're like in a heated fight and let's say you're fighting in the inside and then, it's like too much for you, step out, get out. And that's the same for crypto. Sometimes you have to get out, go into the weekly charts and just check everything. So for now, what makes me very positive about the market and should make you too on the total market cap is very easy to understand that we still have a very big gap in between where we are right now and where our C target is, right? And our C target was already hit in Bitcoin. We hit 127K. We've been saying this over 2.5 years on all of my YouTube videos. Basically, I've always said 127, and obviously we are reacting bearish so far, okay, because we hit a target. The sequence is done. That is, it can overcorrect from now on, but for now, that's where price has to go. And the same thing is for the total market cap. What we use for that is the Fibonacci extension. And if you know any of my videos and you follow me, you see that these ones, I would say like 90% of the time work, right? In terms of where we're going with the price, okay? What happens in between is always random, but we know the most important points, the key points, like for example, this one over here, which is a turning point, and then the target point, okay? So as you can see, our target point for the total market cap, and that's important why we're doing it on the total market cap, because that means money is going to come into the market. The question is just when, right? We don't know. Are we correcting lower? We can go deeper into that. But for now, what is very positive is that we still, from current price up to our C target, we still have a 53% increase possibility of liquidity coming into the market. So from 3.63 to 5.58 or higher, that would be a double of the market volume for us to finish the sequence, okay? Can this happen in the next couple of months? Can, right? Can it take a little bit longer and start January 2026? Also, yeah, but it gives us a direction. Time is always very difficult in trading. It's very difficult to time it, but it is pretty easy to see where it goes, okay, with a lot of confidence. And why do we say that? If you look at this price action here, you can see a clear uptrend, a clear one. There's nothing you can debate. Doesn't matter how you trade, everyone will say that is a strong, clear uptrend, okay? We're having higher highs, lower, the lows are also higher. We see the EMA 50 here forming this very strong support up, or basically trend, right? And the EMA 200 sitting besides it as a even stronger trend, right? But we never even touched the EMA 200, right? Only when we started to launch off, which is a very positive sign for a strong trend. Now, the only thing that is happening is that from our first high to the second high, we had a 37% increase. And from the second high to the last high, we had so far a 13% increase. So there is less liquidity coming in on these new highs, which is not so positive. But what is positive overall is that we can still now make a new high. And it's completely normal that we have these correction points. I mean, again, you can see them here, right? You can see them here. You can see them here. So if I move out here all the drawings, you can see there's a clear wick over here that we had. There's a clear couple of wicks over here, a wick over here, and a stronger wick now with the liquidation event that caused all of this, which is completely okay because it went back to the 50% correction of the active sequence, as you can see, which is here. And that's what we touched, this area. And since we touched the area, we respected the area, and we bounced off pretty quickly, it is very bullish, right? As you can see, we wicked perfectly into the 50% correction level. We didn't even touch the 559. So we touched 3.29 trillion, a little bit below, bounced off and got bought up. And that's exactly what happened here and exactly what happened here with this wick and here too, right? And here too. It's like that's how trading works, right? We wick down, we get bought up very quickly, and that's really, really good. Now, the more difficult thing to say, and there's basically only two scenarios, is are we gonna come back into the buying zone and then move up, or are we going to move up from here, right? These are the only two scenarios that we have right now. So right now, this area is very difficult to trade. But what we need to do is to follow the system, and we have a respected 50% correction BC. It is buying off, so it's buying up. So we need to be more bullish to neutral. So more neutral to bullish. In this zone, we need to be a little bit more neutral, a little bit more careful with our trades, with what we're doing, with how much risk we are putting on, because we just don't know if we're still gonna liquidate this candle over here, come down, and then really go up again, okay? Because for example, here, same thing, we have a strong wick over here, right? So I'm just gonna mark it out. This area here, we have a strong wick over here, okay? Maybe it's easier if I zoom in a little bit more and point it with an arrow, okay? You see this wick over here, big wick, right? We wick into a C target, okay, of a bearish sequence, but at the same time into a bullish correction level, which is this quadrant over here, and that's the 50% correction, right? We dip into it, same way as here, we dip into it, okay? And then you can see price gets bought up pretty fast. We have a neutral candle, right, with a big wick up, so there's pressure, but at the same time, body's closing, so price is just going sideways a little bit. That's where we are in the neutral, undecisive phase that we are entering right now. And then you can see big volume candle comes up, we have a second one, a third one, we retest, and from there on we completely take off, right? And that's pretty much this here copy paste what's my opinion is going to happen. So from this event here of the candle up to this whole push, okay, this whole thing. So basically that's what I'm foreseeing in the future for the market cap. So it would be, if we draw it out, and if you still didn't get it, it is very positive, obviously, because if market volume increases, all of the cryptos are going to increase, right? So something like this could be possible, more like a random, you know, not so long, but since we are here in the weekly chart, but for you to understand, more like a sideways thing, no up, no down, people getting effed again because they don't know, they think, oh, we're just going to up. And then from here, we could see a smaller correction. I don't think so. I think we're going to go take off from here and finish this target, especially running into the new year, right? I think now November will be a little bit stronger. We could see a little run up. Then December is going to fade out a little bit. And then I think for the new year, it's going to be pretty interesting, depending on fundamentally what happens. And it can be stretched out, obviously, but it doesn't have to, right? So this has been happening many, many times. Same thing here, C target, nearly hit entry, right? From there on, we start to take off. But in this phase, if we here go into the H4, right? And we look deeper into how it actually looked when we wicked into these areas, just to see how price reacted, because now you can see we wicked high, we started to get buy ups a lot, but now we are entering a downtrend, which is confirmed, right? Which is most likely approaching here the 50% correction again, just to retest. Okay, it's to retest and then go up. So if we come into the zone, it's a clear buy, heavy buy on everything that has value, right? But if you take this wick, for example, here, okay, so now if you are more in the charts, we are now in the H4, you can see we wick in down, we come back up, we clear, okay, this wick, we basically completely clear it, and from there we start to take off, okay? And you will see this in every market, that this happens many times, that these bigger liquidations or these bigger downside moves and also upside moves, gold just did one today, are mostly met with the same price again, and from then they take off, right? Same thing over here. You have this big liquidation or this big candle at the end of the day, whatever happened here, right? Big liquidation, and price comes up, tests down, goes up, comes back one more time, nearly, right? To clear the area, and from there on we start to have all-time highs, okay? Same principle over here. We dip low, we clear the price, and from there we start to go up again, okay? There's so many examples that we can go over. We dip here, we come back with price, and we go higher, right? Even if we go here to a very small, very far away example, right? We dip low into the rebuy, we start to build bullish momentum, bearish, we test this area again, and from there you can see this insane big rally up, right? And that's basically the same thing again that I'm foreseeing over here. So overall, for people that are just investing, spot buying, holding, prices are good now, right? There's no reason to say not to buy now. You can wait for lower levels, but it's going to give you an advantage of maybe 8-9%. Doesn't make sense to miss anything. Also very positive, obviously, if you look back, we broke this bearish sequence completely. We didn't even finish it. We broke it with a new high. Very bullish, very positive. So overall, market neutral to right now, neutral stance to more bullish stance in the future, and perfect buying prices. And that's why I said buy, and that's why I said last time I'm buying all of these coins, and that's what I'm doing, right? Now, same thing goes for USDT dominance. If you want to look into that, USDT dominance shows us how much money is going into USDT, how much money is going into the market. So if USDT dominance increases, means more money is moving into USDT. If USDT dominance is dropping, right, that means more money is going to go into the market. And as you can see, we finished a bullish sequence. We are over and over reacting in a bearish correction level. So you can see this was the last high. From here, we have a bearish correction level. Then we came in once with a big wick, and a lot of money was turned into USDT and bumped back into the market. A lot of money was turned into USDT and bumped back into the market, right? So there has to be a drop soon, which is good, because again, if we have this leg down over here, right, that means max volume is going to fly into the market, and that's what we want to see, right? Now let's go a little bit deeper into the charts. Let's pick obviously BTC first and speak about that. So if we speak about BTC, BTC right now, I tried a second buy, was a little bit too early, and that's completely okay, because I would have thought we get bought up a little bit faster again, right? And again, I got stopped out, but that's completely okay. That happens. Before that, we had a very profitable trade, right? So all easy. But as you can see right now, we are kind of after the wick here in BTC, the liquidation wick, right, that we see in every crypto, we started to pump up, and now we are more like in a downtrend, right? We broke through some fair value zones, which is also completely okay, right? Completely valid. These ones over here, we can delete them. And for now, what we did is we kept the old supports, which is also a fair value zone over here, which is very positive. We dipped into it. We didn't even dip into the 50%, which is also crazy. So there's a lot of buy up volume, a lot of bullish volume, right? But now we have a cross of the EMAs. We are reacting out of a bearish sequence. And that shows us very much what I was trying to say before. And these are the two scenarios. Again, scenario number one is we go up, not even now we are returning again, but we go up to the 50%. So here we could try a little riskier sell. And then here is the zone when the arrows finish here at 100,000 basically, right? Which is an insanely strong bullish level, buying up from here again. So my game plan right now would be shorting if we come to the 50%, which is 114,323. Excuse me, guys. If we don't get that, it's okay. I'm not going to do anything here. This is no man's land. I'm not going to touch it here anymore. This was a little bit of a riskier trade. Didn't work out, but that's okay. Just wanted to see if these levels hold. Didn't. All easy. Dropped below. Nearly cleared the candle, right? And now we could start either to see some bullish momentum again, like if you have an internal sequence, something like this, and then reacting a little bit bearish. But we still have November ahead of us, and November normally is pretty positive, right? So yeah, these are the two scenarios for BTC right now. We can go into a trade that I'm doing right now, which is also a little bit on the riskier side, but Aave has one of the highest liquidities over the last couple of days. A lot of net inflow, a lot of strong buyers, smart money buyers, and we have a bullish trend. So I bought here at the 50, I entered here, stop loss, entered here, stop loss, entering again, which here was early entries because the trend was pretty strong. And if we go into Nansen, which tracks smart money traders, you can see Aave is top number one with an inflow of 9.71 million in the last 7 days, smart money wallets only, right? And outflow only 13K. So Aave is being picked up, Eden, Pepe, and so on by smart money traders a lot. And that's where I want to position myself, where there's liquidity and volume. At the same time, if you check Aave, for example, and that's why we speak about it, because if you want to, you could take an entry, right? There's no financial investment advice. I'm just a professional trader and investor. And you have to act upon your own decisions, right? But at the end of the day, we are starting to see some, good buys here on the heat map constantly. We are in a bullish trend. Order book is overly positive, so bullish, and we have good volume at the end of the day, right? So makes sense for me to trade. Nothing big, not like a real gangster trade, like smaller trades, just picking up some moves over here, and that's it. Okay. At the same time, we see all of what is happening in crypto very strongly here on Hyperdash. I use Hyperdash just to get like a little bit of an idea of the overall direction of what smart money traders are doing. And as you can see, here are the top traders on Hyperliquids, right? These are the highest performing traders. 36% of them are long, 64% of them are short. So most traders are still short, but that switched. Many traders were short and took their profits, right? And we have a 33% trade profitability, which went pretty high over the last days. So many people were right with the longs, but also still people that are holding longer with shorts. For example, you can see here we have a trader with 31.68 million perpetual equity. He's shorting BTC and is 118.62 million in deep in short in BTC, right? And how is that even possible? Let's check this. It's 1.768 million. Okay, so he's shorting, as you can see, BTC with a 10x leverage. His entry is 109, currently sitting at 108. And yeah, you know, at the end of the day, makes sense. But I'm a little bit more neutral on that stance, but they have pretty good entries. We have another trader over here with 178 million. Let's see what this guy is doing. So this guy is shorting everything, right? He has 0 buy positions. He is 32 million in profit, and he's shorting everything, right? He's shorting Ethereum, BTC, Hype, Solana, Aster, Pump, XPL, Sui, Fartcoin, Injective, and Doge. So this guy is basically selling everything, and obviously highly in profit. I mean, his BTC position started at 111,000, 108 now. Pretty clean. Ethereum he started to short recently. Is very high in drawdown. As we can see, entry price 34438. It's heavy, 22 million in drawdown. But all of his other positions, like his Aster short is strong, and then obviously his XPL short is very strong. But yeah, very risky. But these guys with so much volume don't need a lot of movement in the market for them to become profitable. But as you can see, it's a more coming, like before that it was like 0 longs basically the last days, but now it's more neutralized. As you can see, many traders don't have any positions. Okay, here this guy completely liquidated everything, no stands, no trading. And then you have this guy, for example, he also liquidated everything, no stands, no trading, maybe changed his wallet, whatever. But there's many traders that completely liquidated their accounts, took the money out, the profits with their shorts, and are not doing anything right now. Then we have some guys that are long. For example, this smart money wallet here with top trader with 27 million. He is BTC long, he's Solana long, Ethereum long, near long, XPL pump long. So you can see his entry is 108. So he is probably a bigger stop loss. He's currently 1.88. Is that one? Yeah, 1.88 million. Sorry guys, I was just thinking, is that 1 billion? No. So he's 1.8 million short, and what he's probably doing is basically on BTC, probably just trading, like probably got an entry somewhere over here, 108. Was it 108? How much did he have? See again, his entry is 112. So most likely, yeah, he entered either pretty much at the top or just somewhere over here and still holding it. But doesn't really matter, because for this example, his stop loss is probably somewhere over here, right? And he doesn't care about this correction. He just wanted to get a better price, moving more money into it, and just stacking up this position until we start to move up, which is inevitable. It's gonna happen, right? But yeah, that's always good to check that. Now, if we go into BTC here for a second, BTC perpetuals, we're just gonna check on a higher time frame what the order book says and the heat map in the sense of where is liquidity sitting. And so far there's nothing really interesting too much, to be honest. Let's see, Binance, yeah, so there's not too many positions right now. I think people are just more careful after what happened, right? So if we go a little bit more into it, we can see not so much open interest. Order book is mainly turning bearish. We are having way more net shorts than net longs for at least this candle right now, and before we had 1k 123.8. So here, yeah, so it looks like short on the next couple of hours in 1 or 2 days. We also touched the Monday low and getting a little bit more bullish of that, but yeah, very neutral, as you can see, especially here. This is very interesting, which is basically the pressure bands, order book pressure bands that show us how the order book is filled. mainly positive to neutral, bearish, positive, neutral, bearish, positive, right? So here you can see that's exactly what I'm saying, this more neutral stance, okay? That is represented everywhere in the market right now because, and again, there's not a lot of orders, to be honest. So for example, here we had 1 million orders, 688K in BTC, so nothing crazy really. Do we see anything else? No, many people obviously got neutralized out of the market and their positions are gone. So there's not a lot of stuff here in the order book, to be quite honest. And let's switch this one off to HD. I was already confused why I don't see them. So now we see a little bit more. We start to have heavy positions here at 102,000. Excuse me, I just ate recently. And then a lot of sells start at 111,000 again. 113,000, excuse me. So if we check that, 118 is somewhere over here, right, at the last point of our selling point, right? So yeah, I still think something like this is very much reasonable to where BTC is going, right? So you can try to trade this up, you can try to trade this down, and then here's where we're gonna start to really move some money in my opinion, at least for myself. Once we touch the 100,000, that's where I'm gonna be very, very bullish. And yeah, that also means obviously other coins are gonna drop to these prices. So let's check a little bit the other coins, but they look pretty much the same as BTC, right? As you can see here, BNB finishes bearish sequence, is now starting to become a little bullish, but we have a strong resistance coming in over here with the EMA 200. So same thing here, probably something like this, right? And then really like taking off again. And that's where here we're gonna enter heavy. I'm gonna let you guys obviously know in my value community that is completely for free. Click the link below, scroll all the way down and join the free channel. I'm gonna, as I just did recently, send in where I'm putting my money into right now, because I'm always investing, and right now I'm not investing into crypto, I'm investing into other positions that recently also the last 2 or 3 months made me a lot of money. But if you wanted to find that out, the trades are in there. It's more like where I'm investing, okay? But yeah, there's no reason to really go deeper into that because all of them look pretty much the same. If we go into XRP, you're going to see the same thing, this clear sideways trend, and not really doing anything from here. And yeah, at the end of the day, guys, that's it for now. That's the direction, especially for all of the other coins too. As BTC leading the market, we're going to mainly focus on BTC right now. Everything else looks very much the same. There's basically 2 scenarios, with one that has a high probability. And again, I'm just going to, clear the confusion, but most likely something like this is what's going to happen, right? And yeah, with that being said, guys, make sure to like and follow, and we see us in the next one.